That's hot. It's hot. So I am excited because something arrived today, and that's these two lights. So the first one is the Nanlite Forza 60BII, which is the light over here. Now this is really cool because it's tiny, right? And I'm not going to go too into technical details of what each of these lights have and do.
This did not go to plan. He in fact did go into the technical details.
I'm more going to talk about what I do as a professional and how these lights may be used in my professional work. Now, so I do a lot of talking head interview type stuff, kind of like this as well. And for that, I need a key light. The first light that I bought was actually this. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. Okay, so this is the Aperture 300D Mark II. This is a great light. Okay, I have no complaints about this light. It's beautiful. It's got a gorgeous quality to it. So versatile. It connects to my phone. I can shoot interviews with it. It's powerful enough to do that, but it's also powerful enough for me to use in bigger shoots. So I've done some music videos, and this has been beneficial for that as well, especially being able to control remotely. That's a very key feature. And it's just a reliable light. It just does the job. Obviously, the downside, as you can see, is it's very big and it's very heavy. But then this guy, on the other hand, is tiny, and it's a lot lighter as well. Now, when I look at this, it actually has a very interesting reflector thing. And it looks like it's going to focus the beam, so this could be really beneficial as like a backlight, as like a hair light, or just like a spotlight on a product. Now this is a 60 watt bicolor light, which means I can switch this to tungsten and have more of like a background foreground separation type thing, which is really cool. Or I could have it as a daylight color and use it as a key light. It comes with this, which is a Bowen's mount adapter, which is really cool, which means that I can use my existing domes. So I have the Aperture dome here, so I could actually mount this onto this and then have this as the light source. What I'm really excited about is this thing. So this thing looks like it takes batteries. Now this is a game changer because with the Aperture 300D, I have to plug it in or I have to use an expensive V-mount battery. But I think this can actually take Sony batteries, and I'm going to just quickly test that out now. Okay, I've got my Sony batteries. Let's see what happens. Amazing. So I can plug these in, and it means that if I want to grab a quick shot, do a quick setup, grab a quick interview, I can do it battery powered. I don't have to find an AC power adapter or buy an expensive power pack or a V-mount battery. So if I were to plug this in here, let's see what happens. Yes, it's turning on. Oh, would you look at that? Yeah. There we go. Now that's really cool. Like I can put this on a stand right here. There's like a little place for a light stand down here. What's really cool, like I said, is that this has got two different color temperatures. So I can make it tungsten or I can make it daylight. And this is actually at 20% power. So if I were to turn it up, whoa, okay. That's pretty bright. Oh, looks like it turned off, and that might be because I'm out of battery. Or, okay, interesting. It looks like at 100% it cuts off, and that might be because it's drawing too much. The battery can't supply it enough power. That's okay. So maybe I just need to charge it. Maybe I can't use it at 100%. Okay, so now it's at 96%, and that's pretty decent. That's a decent light. I really like that. So that's the Forza 60BII. So the other light that I got is this, which is the Nanlite Pavotube 15CII. Now this is cool because if you wanted a simple interview setup, I could use this as my key light, and I can use this as a hair light in the back, providing that kind of background foreground separation. I could also use this as a practical light if I wanted to, somewhere in the scene if I was filming a music video, or I could have it to the side. You could even probably use it as a key light, to be honest. It's got a nice soft feature to it. What I like about it is it's battery powered, it's a 30 watt light, which is pretty good, and that's at 20% power. Oh, it's locked. It's got a locking feature, so it locks. That's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Long press lock for 3 seconds to unlock. Okay, so now it's unlocked, and now I can turn the brightness up. So that was at 20%, and now it's at 100%. That's pretty decent, actually. So that's daylight. And then if I wanted to change the color temperature, I can. So that's going for a cooler light, that's 7,500 Kelvin. And then I can go for a warmer light, tungsten. That's sick. Look at that, man. So between these two lights, I've got quite a few options because they're both bicolor. It's also got a green and magenta shift. That's pretty cool. So how do I switch it to RGB? Oh, look at that. So we've got a dimming control, so I can dim it. And then I've got a hue and saturation. So that's hue. There we go. All those colors, look at that. I believe I can control this with a smartphone as well, but I'm gonna look into that later. So let's try these out in interview setting downstairs. So this is the final look. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the bones mount. Now, I was initially worried that the stone might be a bit too heavy, but I think it's holding up fairly fine. The bones mount adapter has a really nice tightening system where you can keep tightening it and pull out the tightening knob and then, you know, reset the position. So I did have to tighten it a little bit just to make sure that the dome doesn't sag, but once I got it locked in, it's staying in the right position. Now with my aperture dome, I usually have 2 layers of diffusion, but I found that with the Forza 60BII, it was just a bit too dim. So I removed 1 layer and I found that it was adequately bright enough. I haven't seen the footage yet, but just by looking at it, I think it looks fine. So it's nice to know that I can still get a nice output with 1 layer of diffusion. I'm also using my honeycomb grid just to control the spill. Now let's talk about the app NanLink. Now I've used other apps before like Sidious Link for aperture, and I was expecting this to be on the same level and usability. And I have to say, I wasn't disappointed. It was really easy to use. I really like how you can just get on with it and use guest mode without having to log in and just start setting up your lights. Once you get in, you can set up a new scene. Finding the lights was really easy. It found the Forza and the Pavotube fairly quickly. So overall, I'm very happy with the app. Finally, I'd like to talk about energy management. Now, I don't mean management of your device's energy. I mean you yourself as a filmmaker or gaffer or whatever role you have. If you're working with these lights, if you're working with gear, you have limited energy during the day, especially when you're a solo content creator like I am. I am managing quite a few things. I'm managing the camera, I'm managing the client, I'm managing lights. And when you're setting up these lights, it does take energy. It does take away your allocated energy to this. What I really like about this system is it's very light. So getting it set up, getting it going, and then moving the light around, I found was really easy because it's a very light light. And that means that you've got energy left over for other things, such as working with the client, getting the shot right, doing the interviews, or getting B-roll, or just thinking about admin and safety, which is an important part. So I quite like that it's quite lightweight compared to my usual Aperture 300D. Which brings me to my final thought, which is that this is a great system if you want to do an easy one-person interview. And this might be something that I could leave here in a studio setup as well, so that I can use my other lights for client shoots, or I could do it the other way around if I want to take this on a client shoot where it's just a solo shoot. So if you're watching until this point, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Please let me know what other content you'd like to hear from this channel. And I guess my final message to you is what I usually say is go make epic shit. And what I mean by that is don't wait for perfect. Even if it's terrible, just make something so that you learn. And this is my goal with this video, is just to make something, even if it's not perfect, so that I learn from it, get something done. Because what I tell myself is that something is better than nothing. And this is something. It's me getting the ball rolling. And I hope that whatever creative endeavors you have, you do something that gets the ball rolling, which helps you learn, which helps you hone your craft. Even if you're a little embarrassed by it, that's okay. Do something to get the ball rolling so that you learn from it. You know, every repetition counts. So that one day you're gonna look back and you're just gonna be like, whoa, I've gone so far. Look at how far I've gone. But you only get that far by taking all these little incremental steps. So I guess that's what I'd like to finish off with. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. And then this is really cool. It's, oh, look at that. Effects. Whoa. Disco. Explosion. Auto. Welding. Hue loop. So that's cool. So it just kind of like rotates between all the colors. That's nice. CCT loop. I'm not sure what that does. Maybe it's like a CCTV television. Int loop. I don't know what that is. CCTV flash. So you're watching television. Hue flash. CCTV pulse. You got fireworks. Bad bulb. Candle fire. Paparazzi. TV. Police car. Dope. Storm. I'm guessing that's like a, ooh, yeah.